come down onto the floor. You can have your foam roller, either a small one or a long one. You can do both legs at the same time to warm up, and then we can move on to doing a single leg at a time. Okay, so when you're foam rolling, or rather I should say the backs of the legs, because obviously we will get into some other muscles aside from just the hamstrings group. You're gonna roll all the way from the base of the glutes to the bottom, or the bottom of the thigh, right just above the kneecap. Never foam roll right behind the knees. A lot of soft tissue, it's very delicate. You do not want to go there. Okay, so we're nice and warmed up, and you might have gotten a little bit onto the outer thigh. So we will take this, and then we will continue into the glutes on one leg as well, right? So even, yeah, maybe you can come and you'll put your feet down on the floor and you just kind of roll over, but more of the glutes is gonna happen on the side. So let me just back up a little bit, and we are gonna move into that. We'll do a supported on one leg, and then I'll show you the opposite to make it a little bit more intense on the opposite side. So again, I have my foot down on the floor, bearing some weight. I'm gonna bring my hands to a pad, right? Because that feels a little bit better. So I'm starting by having my foot flat out. So I have my hip externally rotated, and I'm just kind of working here. And this is really also getting a bit more of that lateral thigh. So kind of stay nice and slow and breathe here, right? And when you find a spot where you have a knot, just take a deep breath in and sink down a little bit more before moving on, all the way up. Good, and then come back down, right to just above the knee, and you'll kind of wiggle from side to side, right? So there's really no like right or, well, there is right, but there's no like wrong way to work the hamstrings. We just want to try and be efficient. Again, anywhere you feel a knot or some tension, and then coming into rotating your toes inward, so that way the thigh kind of spins in and you can get into the medial hamstring. Okay, right, so not the full adductors, we'll get to that in another video. And then here, I'm also gonna move up to the glutes. So what you wanna do here now is go ahead and turn towards one side. So I'm on my right leg, so I'm kind of sitting on my right cheek only, okay? And now I'm gonna come on down to my forearm because it's a little bit easier. And you're just gonna roll up and down the meaty part of the butt, right? So everything is gonna kind of be off to the side there because that's gonna be your widest surface. Okay, coming all the way up to the hip, all right? Really, where you feel those, like your bony protrusion of the hip, you wanna come all the way up there. Good. And when you start to feel something that's a little bit knotty, you're gonna kind of butterfly the leg, little Suzanne Somers, making a clamshell, whatever you want to call it, into that knot, right? Rock a little bit from side to side, work it out. And then once you can spend as much time as you need to. Obviously, that's the whole point of foam rolling. 10, 15 minutes in the morning is a great way to spend that time. Now we're gonna go into the other leg. All right, so hamstrings on the left leg. I'm gonna cross my right leg over my left again. This is going to be a bit more intense. And I am just rolling all around one more time before I start on that little rock from side to side, moving up a little bit, rolling outside, rolling inside, again, and then where I feel a little bit of a knot, this time I'm going to tap my tap leg, right, because it's a little bit easier to get the pressure because of where we are on the foam roller, right? So if you're moving the bottom leg, it's not, you can actually move the bottom leg. That's going to be a bit more intense. Top is going to be a little bit less. It's just going to depend on what you want. And you can also kind of pick both legs up and rock them down, moving into, right? You want to make sure that you're going from side to side, really trying to get the whole surface area of the back of the thigh. And now we're going to move up into that glute, okay? And again, foot is, you can clamshell the legs. Coming down onto the forearm is actually going to give you a better positioning here, right? You can, now you're bringing your weight lower to the ground because you are lower to the ground with the rest of your body, and it allows you to kind of be on that same level as the foam roller. Any sort of area that really gets in there where you feel a knot, hold, and you're just going to open and close. Again, you can kind of take the weight of the opposite leg there with you and go all the way up into the hips. And that is foam rolling for the glutes and hamstrings.